Johnny,
What's going
what's up,
on, my
bud?
man? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Nice, nice. Yeah,
You
it's
hanging
nice
in
to
there?
see in the chat, like a lot of people really kind of shouting out your system and stuff, brother. So,
Yeah, it's good to
man,
see.
very cool. Yeah, I really like to see that positive feedback. I can't tell
Yeah.
you how grateful I am for you to kind of create this. So, very cool,
Thanks.
man.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. And I was going through your stuff too, and like in the beginning, I just want to say like I'm really proud of you too, because like you started with a $20 unit size, and now you're all the way up to $100.
Yeah,
So
like
that's solid.
I don't have like the big numbers to really pop out and to kind of be that big sell point. But what I can tell you
But you
is
will
you
though.
can
You
start
will.
with
You know.
nothing, right? I mean, it was
Yeah.
just like you're just going, and I'm just on, I'm on house money now, so it doesn't really matter. So,
hmm
and then I'm not going to have to worry either because
Yeah.
it's just
Exactly.
going to keep growing from here. So that's
hmm
what's really
And then
exciting for me. I'm very grateful that you still reached out to me and you helped me and you did those things. People,
because I
so
definitely want to make sure you get the results that you want.
mhm.
So I'll definitely. That's why I'll go through. It doesn't matter. I'll go through whatever I can to help you. You know
Yeah, yeah,
that.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because that was one thing I was kind of worried. I was like, oh, I'm kind of out to the side, but the
No.
community, that community that's in here is very,
hmm
very helpful with everybody, and everybody comes together, and you get great ideas to look at something differently. So
Yeah, exactly. So the first thing is, what was the problem that you had before like joining the group when it came to sports betting?
Frank, I'm like any other better. There's no secret. We're all the same. We
hmm
think we know sports. We think we kind of know what's going to happen. We get all this outside noise from TV pundits, and we read a few articles, and we think what's going to happen on that day or that weekend.
hmm
So I'm no different. And then sometimes you think, oh man, maybe I should do parlays where I can hit maybe two or three, break down the odds, but I get this big win, and you chase
Yep.
that for a while. So it's really, I'm no different than anybody else. And it's what this system does is it helps you have a system to really learn. It gives you the tools, it gives you the support. And
hmm
that's where I was at, just like any other bettor that thought he knew what he was doing
Yeah.
when really you don't. But
hmm
that's what you're going to learn with this system is, yes, value is important, in the
Yeah.
long run that probably is a something you need to pay attention to, but you get these little tricks in the system on what to look for and the value to look for and to be consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where
Because
it's all
the
at.
consistency is so key because it's tough. A lot of people they can't make it with the consistency.
To gain mastery at something, it takes a
hmm
long apprenticeship, right? I mean,
Yeah.
even 6 months, we're still babies and we're still learning. We got a long way to go. But you really start to understand how these tools that you're going to be given, how
hmm
to utilize them, how to operate with them. And you start to get better at looking at stuff and understanding stuff
Yep.
because you're in that daily grind every day. And when you do something every day, man, it's amazing how much you're going to learn. And I think that's something that gets overlooked.
Yeah.
When a new person comes in, you have a very cool layout of what to go through to learn and kind of get
hmm
everything set up before you jump into the community and start going at it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some really good videos you put in there about sharing that psychological mindset that you're going to have in order to be successful in this. And you can't stress that enough.
It takes years of just experience and over for it to like go away, like the emotion stuff to go away. Like it's not going to go away for you in a couple months. Like it takes years for that
Right.
to go away because you got to think like when you have a bad day, it's just normal as a human, that you're going to have emotion for it. You're going to be like, "Oh man, like that sucked. Well, what am I going to do now?" But it's like after time, it's almost like you start to ignore that feeling because then it's like, yeah, that's what tomorrow's a new day, right? There's still 360 something days left in the year. We'll see what happens in those days. So
Yeah.
that's
And
the way you got to look at it.
yeah, and especially the what you've created and what you've taught here, like those bad days that happen, they don't kill you. It's just a
Yeah,
bad
exactly.
day. You
Hmm.
know, your teaching of what you're going to be doing in here, it really, a bad day is just a bad day. It's not going to be a bad week. You know,
Hmm.
it's going to come back around, and it does.
Hmm.
So that's what's really, really, I mean, the system's just awesome. You learn so much throughout this process, but like for me, it was really that mindset and
Yeah.
understanding the bankroll.
So another question that I had is, what made you choose us? Like, what made you like? How did you find us, and like, what made you kind of like choose us other than anybody else?
You know, Frank, I got you on YouTube. You know, I was
Hmm.
watching some videos and just kind of trying to get ideas and stuff. And then you know, your personality, how you came across on some of the videos I was watching, then all of a sudden I'm watching a ton of videos. I'm all like, man, there's just I was just vibing with you, man. I just caught the vibe, and I'm like, well, maybe I want to learn more about how he's doing stuff. If he's going to teach me, you just came across as not all these other fools. Well,
Yeah.
and I don't, but there's fools out there. You want to, you know,
Oh
they're
yeah.
coming at, they're screaming at you. I do this, I do that, and
No,
you
I
just
know.
know better, and that's not right. And when I came across you and you were doing this, I'm like, well, this is the person that's going to teach you something, right? This is where you
Hmm.
want to learn. You don't want to learn from the kids that are just kind of throwing money out. And I hope people give this an opportunity to people that come into the sports betting world that want to learn something. I hope
Hmm.
they come here and
Yeah.
make the investment to learn, because this is how you learn how to do it.
Hopefully it becomes a
Absolutely.
problem for the sports books. That's the ultimate goal. Is when the sports
Yeah.
books start, I start getting emails from the sports books like, "Hey, man, you guys are becoming a problem."
Right. That's what's going to
that's
be cool.
that's going to be the ultimate goal, because that'll be, that'll be pretty insane. Something like that happens.
Yeah. You can't be teaching these people what you're showing them.
Yep, I know. So another question is, when did you like feel like that it really started to click? Like, when did it really start? Like, you realized like, oh man, like this actually works. This isn't just like some other program that somebody's trying to teach and it doesn't work.
Yeah, so for me, you know, starting smaller, you know, it was harder to see the money pop. Like, you
Yeah.
know, people had bigger bankrolls, you would see that pop. So I always tried to, like, first of all, just check my ego at the door, learn the
Hmm.
system. You know, if that's the one advice I could give anybody new, forget what you know, just let it go and apply
Yeah.
yourself to the system and learn the tools, listen to the coaching and get that down. That would be the main thing. And, and watch your units. You know,
Hmm.
that was for me. It was like, are my units growing? And that's where I was getting. And don't go straying off. Don't try doing a little something different, or like start thinking, you know, you have a couple days that don't go your way. Well, if I would have bet this or I would have bet that, it's
Yeah.
still the same. You know, stick to the system. It's going to keep kind of going and going, and then it compounds and it compounds. That's
Hmm.
what's really exciting for me right now, Frank, is obviously I'm towards the end now. I'm at the end where I know the system now. I understand the system.
Yeah.
I can see the system. You just learn so much more in that whole time frame that now I'm really excited about building the bankroll so the money starts growing faster. So
Yeah, and what you're like almost there, like $100 unit size is no joke. Like that's a good amount that that starts building up. That's it. Like
yeah,
10 units in that a month, that's an extra $1,000.
there you go. And
Yes.
that was so funny for me, was the mental game, because like when I was doing the $20 and $30 bets, that really is, you know, you can sneeze at that, and you know you
Hmm.
don't miss that. And then when I went to 50, I was all like, "Whoa!" And
Yeah, it's a
then
different
I
mentality.
gotta
Yeah.
adjust. Like, I
It's
just
a
lost
second
this
thought.
much today, and I wasn't
Yep.
thinking about other things. And so I got through
Yeah.
that process, and then once I started making it to 100, I will not lie that I was freaking out a little bit. Like, I'm not used to seeing those 3 digits, so I was kind of like, "All right, here we
Especially on days that
go."
are busy, like on a Saturday, you'll see like, you have 8 bets, that's like $800 you got out, right? Like you got
Right?
800 bucks in play. You're like, whoa, wait a minute now.
Yeah. So
That's what
it
I'm saying. The
really.
higher you start betting, it starts making you realize that like, okay, I better know what I'm doing now, because like if
Mhm.
I mess this up, like I can take a pretty big hit, honestly. So that's
Yep.
what, and I try to tell everybody that start out with like a smaller bankroll and a smaller unit size, that like don't like sneeze at it because you're betting 20, $30. Like imagine that you're betting 200 or $300 a play,
Mhm.
because because when you get to that level, you should already have that mentality instilled in you that like I still, you shouldn't just feel like, oh, 200, $300. Oh yeah, just this one looks like a play. Let me just play it. Like, no, you don't want to be
Right.
like that. Like you want to make sure that you know what you're doing, when it comes to that aspect, because you can take huge hits on certain days if you're not doing it
Hmm.
the right way, and then you definitely can get. I know the feeling too, because like I said, I'll bet anywhere from the unit size of 500 to 1,000. So in any
Right.
given day, there could be like 5, 6, 7,000 out in the day, and it's like, whoa, like that's a lot of money in play. Like, oh man, like that's where like the emotion checks you, because like you kind of have to not pay attention to that, because like when you're betting like that amount, like you just it'll ruin your whole day if you really pay attention to it. To be honest, even if you win or lose it, because you'll just be called consumed by it, So you almost like have
Yeah.
to just ignore it and be like, let me go about my day and just do something else. Let me do something with the kids or something like that. And, totally ignore what
Hmm.
I'm doing.
Yeah, because it's really don't get absorbed. Like
Hmm.
I kind of got to the point now, like I was asking you earlier in the program when you were, I was all like, man, how do you deal with that feeling? And you're all like, oh, just be patient, it comes, but it
Yeah.
doesn't happen, overnight by any means. But
Hmm.
but yeah, I kind of got to and it might have been even you might have said it on a team call or it might have been one of your videos, but um, I wrote down set it and forget it, and that really helped me have that trigger to
Yeah.
go like I got my plays and they're gonna hit or they're not, and I'm good. If
Hmm.
it wins, it wins. I go on to the next day. I'm back on the grind. And I can't tell you how grateful I am to find this and to have this system and to kind of go forward. It's
Nice.
really, really awesome what you've created here. And just the community and
Hmm.
the people that you come together and everybody's easy to talk to and we all kind of get along and have great side conversations and
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
that's
said.
where
It's,
it's
it's a great group.
priceless.
It's a great group of people. It really is. It's a
Yeah,
solid group.
and that's the thing that sold me. It was just like you want to teach people how to do this.
Yeah.
It's not about just selling this and having this business and I'm fine. I already make
Hmm.
money sports gambling and now you're buying my system. I'm doing great.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
like how you want to teach people, you want to share this.
Yeah, because like I love it when people like like they're sharing their stuff like in the group this morning. Like you see,
Yeah,
like yeah, like I love it when they're sharing their stuff in there and like they're making money and stuff. Because like that's just cool to me. I like that. Like
yeah,
I get the better. Like me, I'm just like the person that gets a better feeling from like seeing somebody else make money and stuff. Rather than myself doing it all. Like I'd rather see everybody else prosper in
yeah,
it. Like that's where
especially,
I
I
get
mean,
my fulfillment from.
absolutely, yeah. And like you said, I mean, this is years in the making, and don't doubt it.
Yep.
You just come in here and you learn it, and for you to question it,
Yeah.
stop.
No.
Apply yourself to the system and let it grow and keep growing and growing, and then we'll be where you're at, in the
Yep.
long run.
Definitely. Yeah.
Just kind of
Exactly.
just just keep walking that path.
Hmm.
But yeah, right
Cool.
on, Frank. Totally appreciate it, man. I appreciate
Yeah. Thanks, Johnny.
everything you've done for me. And, this is really exciting for me because now I have a growth path and
Hmm.
really looking forward to it. So,
Nice. But yeah, I appreciate it. All right, Johnny. Thanks for coming on here and doing that. Definitely helped out.
absolutely.
All
Yeah, for
right.
for sure.
Yeah, make sure if you got any questions about anything, you can reach out to me.
Absolutely.
All right, Johnny. I'll see
See
you
you,
later
brother.
then, all right?